top side as well here. I like the adaptations with Ryze and Yasuo, and I like the fact that Bang and Wolf are able to go even in this bot lane.
Put the faith in Huni. So far, so good. He got that assist on First Blood. Mountain Drake spawning, but Samsung Galaxy not that same pressure over bot lane. And again, same matchup, and yet SKT doing much better now in the 2-on-2 as far as overall lane control. They got a bit of help from Peanut, of course. That's nice as well. But this game, though so much of it is similar, looking so differently, well aimed for SKT.
And we're seeing also ambition on this Jarvan here. Second time, as you said, during the tournament. First time he played it was against WE in the first game of the semifinals. He couldn't find any early ganks. It was really too effective for him, and it kind of fell apart for him and the team. This game, he's been on the
play fizzles out. He just makes a beeline, run straight back to the top side to try and save the rest of this turret so that SKT don't give up that first turret bonus. They've worked so tirelessly to get themselves into a position to capitalize on that advantage.
But at this point here, SKT should play around top side, get that first tower down, unleash Huni in the top lane, instead of having all these plays around the bottom side, because that's actually allowing Samsung to get back in this game here and not fall further behind. No turret just yet, and this top lane tower's been low for a long time.
It has been low. It's been an interesting look for SKT because the mantra coming in was Huni, play for yourself, get you the 1v1 matchups, and yet his big plays have been coming down to the mid lane to get First Blood for Faker, coming down to the bot lane to help secure the first Drake, and he's going equal in just the lane itself.
Definitely credit to Samsung for not allowing that explosion to happen that we talked about in the possible early game opening here that SKT were trying to pry away. Now though, we've got almost a full reset for SK Telecom. Able to go purchase, and the first item timings are coming through even more than the plays that we were talking so much about. You know, Huni here as well with the Phantom Dancer gets to go in.
Yeah, and I think on the other side here, top going Black Cleaver first. Fairly risky. I love getting cooldown reduction as well, but not Frozen Mallet. Tricky. You don't right now like very tanky, and Huni's all in, especially once he's level 11. Something you gotta respect. Like typically when I see Gnar versus carries, it's Frozen Mallet and a lot of early armor to try and make sure you don't die. Then you just kind of whittle them down slowly.
Two paths right now for they're the ones with the priority. Because of all the control they've been able to get around Faker, but either go that top lane path. Here we're going mid.
A couple of barrels, but none of the big triggers pulled out. Addition able to back out to safety, no big deal. Minions cleared out, but a low health jungler gets control back to SKT.
Faker right now able to roam with Peanut there, looking for that top lane tower with Q, but he knows he's trying to get away as fast as possible.
Realm Orb comes in, they're committing to it.
Here comes the there right behind, gets back over the wall, the flow away, and he's got a long row ahead of him. Up and down the river, the bot lane near, running away from Peanut.
Oh, flashing!
They're going to keep up the chase there, and they get the slow.
The ult is going to land pretty perfectly there, rooted in place. That's going to be the kill. Faker getting in a second and only kills the game.
It all starts in the mid lane when they get Faker in control. He roams with the jungler. That's going to be first tower now for Huni in the top lane. And SKT, we saw this just before. When they win the early game at Worlds, they're 8-0. They're looking so good in this second game.
Let's see if they can keep that one going. The paths are getting wider and easier to navigate as they just machete back and realize that there's daylight at the end of that tunnel, and they tie up this series 1-1. They keep going. 3,000 gold lead so far. Immaculate for them. No Drakes given up. No turrets, no debtor. They might be going back to bloodless games, but it keeps going this way. Very controlled in their play.
Yeah, as we can see from the mini-map, this was telegraphed from SKT for the play they wanted, but the willingness to blow these flashes and Peanut getting just in range for the slow landing on his barrel sets up the perfect ultimate there. We've given enough to go for the hop, but have it in time, and they're able to capitalize completely because even more important than the kill, the objectives. Top lane turret is down, plus the Rift Hill, that means SKT can finally start to change those objectives.
And they're still defending the bot lane. That's what Samsung are looking so. They want Rule to get this turret.
Think he's going to run a flash chases in, looking for the fade, but in comes Rule, look at Bang, and he does not have a way out, but this one, the flash was already used. Area pop for some time, in comes Crowd, and they're going to find the first kill of the game. Kuwait staying alive as well, the chase forward. They got the root and a Faker, the Galaxy, the flash towards poor JJ, secures a double kill for Ruler.
On SK Telecom is flashes forward for the ultimate members. The rest of SK Telecom not committing. What a big we've seen within the team.
And Kira, he was ready. TP'd in behind SKT as soon as this fight started. When they knew, okay, Ambition, he's getting that Dragon Pit, they turned it around.
So many times we've highlighted between Huni and Juve. Juve joining these fights so quickly. Here's Ambition on the run, though.
Okay, now Samsung are calling. We can fight this one. TP comes in, Bang is in the Dragon, trying to kill Ambition, while Peanut and Faker will look towards Crown. Meanwhile, Huni's taking a he's not TPing into the fight, and this was over before it started.
That has to be maybe a team call there, not to spend a teleport, but very different ideas about what they wanted to do in that play. As your AD carry flashing forward, on it can be a strategy, but not if you're bringing only 4 members to a 5-man fight.
Sure, but who's going to member to a 1-man fight and not bot lane turret? So, 2 solo turret kills for Huni individually. He is massive, 7,900 gold, more than anyone else on the opponent, 1,500 over his opposing member. KT gets to rely on this Yasuo.
Huni value is getting even stronger individually and goes for Infinity Edge. He wants to be stronger for the next fight and go to GA early on. It's something you can do in the so when you join the first team fight, you don't just get one shot instantly. The GA helps you quite a lot when you are playing aggressive in the front line.
Yeah, aggression can be SKT with them. Now was the next Drake is spawned, and there's a count number 2 for SKT. We know one here to push this Crown, staying top side. Does have teleport around.
And there are a few wards behind SKT, but Samsung not in position to fight.
Does not do much, so the ults are down. Here comes the ring, once again for him to add the damage. Oh! Look at the flame out of Ruler. Do they have the already. One man stands and he's going to fall. The ace from Galaxy.
That was so insane from Samsung. There was so much damage coming in from Ruler and Ambition. So much time for the Riz team. Crown joins up. Comes in from the flank. That was perfect.
Antal again around the Dragon Pit, and this time those are immense after the clean ace able to pick up Baron.
SKT are 8-0 with the win in the game during this tournament. SKT are still one of the best team fight teams in the world, and yet watching Samsung turn it around 2 fights in a row.
Ambition for a shot, but mechanically that fight was insane. Joel ultimate, the second effect, the 3-man knockup, it confirmed QV's in combo. It was beautiful.
I for the replay. Like,
it's here.
There we go. Like, this was so amazing to watch here. Ambition and Samsung are moving in. They know the Crown is not there yet, but he can TP again. Let's look at pulse. Ambition engages, gets on the 3 members with his ulti, and look at the damage from Ruler here. In place, Ambition flash out to jump back to his flag and knock them up again. And then QV here.
Again, about how the parts of Samsung are working together. Re-engage from Ambition and Cube was so seamless to the SK Telecom backline. And you can see how good that feels for Cube himself to follow.
This is the player that got counter-picked, and he chose red side to be the 1v1 against him. It had looked good for much of this game, but clearly feeling comfortable on the Narf.
Ambition on this jump up a big pick for him during the tournament. We are seeing why teams value the job. And especially when you play against champions, dashes. There were no flash out of back and whoop. So when they got holded by Ambition, they were stuck in place. And that allowed Ruler to land his CC, that allowed QV to land his ulti. The pick that was left till the end of the paid off big time.
Now starting to fall, the turret lead the first of the game. Now Samsung Galaxy find their third. As he's mountain dragging much, you're not winning in map control anymore. Objectives to fight this lead now. For 3,000 up. He's still going to put the back in Infinity Edge second item. Crit chance thanks to the Yasuo passive. He can melt any champion he duels if he doesn't die.
He does go to Randolph to try and mitigate that a little bit. But meanwhile, the Baron buff is what's really important here. As 24 minutes in, Samsung are continuing to pressure on the secondary line of turrets.
Also the thing about Samsung's draft here with this Janna, they are ready for Huni to join fight. They can use them once soon to distance game after the ulti is over, and that's where Huni's build might hurt him, because yes, he has a lot of damage, but as you highlighted, Quick, he dies very quickly, and he needs to play perfect to get back in the game.
Yeah, not to mention, one of the favorite targets for Malzahar is melee champions is the DPS Yasuo. To the team fights, that can definitely lock him up.
And all the key damage are immune to wind wall. W, E, and R all pass through that. They're not styles. It all shows up on top of you. He can lose damage, but not Crowns. And Crowns pretty big.
He is. That's a bit of Crown's role on this team. We talked about earlier. It's been a rough split for him, but as long as he can click R in a team fight on a key target, the rest of Samsung can then actually take down that and win the fight to Crown. That's a super carry and more of a support at this point.
All right, once again, we should get another vision toggle, because like that, 2 back-to-back team fights for Samsung. They take the entire second line of turrets, starve almost all of the vision. SK Telecom out.
Lone ward down there, that means nothing.
The little freak ward there is
Perfect.
is the only survivor, but the complete blanket control here for Samsung after picking up that fight, after picking up the objective, really led again by Ambition. His in-game leadership has been one of the biggest things.
Yeah. By Ambition, and by the fact that this Samsung lineup got another year under the belt. A lot of guys were playing against SKT in the big final. Lost the first 2 games, looked nervous, all over them. They're looking like the team who is more control and ready to turn around the big fight, especially Ruler on this. He was a rookie last year when he made it to the World Final. Now he's not a veteran just yet.
Yeah, they're looking confident and they're acting confident as well. You see, even before the game started, in the Ambition interview we talked about last year, we'll reach for extreme here, trying to surprise SK Telecom. But this, we are the better team.
And so far they've shown it. The top 8, and it's very clear Samsung came in looking like the favorite gameplay. And it's so funny, I've seen people like give us flack for quoting history, but no matter how bad SKT have looked at various years, always did manage to turn it on. And the question is, when will be the year where someone finally holds up to that level of metal, really? And maybe this is the one where Samsung Galaxy, we know you're clutch, but we are just better than you pound for pound across the team, and this might be the time.
This will be the first time where Samsung are then able to say, you know what, this is a playoff game, and we're showing up big time. This team in the LCK, they lose almost every game they're playing. They never win the LCK final with this lineup. And now they might win the World Championships.
I mean, the first time Samsung Galaxy with this squad played on a really big stage for something important, World Final last year. There's no LCK finals, there's no huge crowds, qualifiers for them, and they from the world. And when they were there, they made it all the way to the very top of it. And here, you saw them get on the big stage. They 3-0'd Longzhu in their first best of world this year, 3-1 against EVE, the regular season champion, China, now up against SK Telecom, the reigning world champions, and they passing these tests so far.
And they keep talking about revenge against TT in this big final, and they're talking about how they didn't have to change their playstyle. They're the correct way at the moment. They're going to pick exactly the same way they're doing so far during playoffs, and we're seeing that here. Good bot lane, trying to get QV, didn't work in this one game, but then he got team fight instead.
That's why it's so impressive. If we think back to Champions Select, Samsung, the confidence showing here as well. Happy to run back, and they're posing to SK Telecom, who are not used to having to be the ones to answer, because they are the back-to-back champions, but they haven't been able to find that answer thus far, and Samsung closing in once again.
We gotta then look at, okay, how can he get back in this game here? Big wombo combo can happen when you have the old combined with a Yasuo. I think that combo might be the way in, because if you don't the Janna instantly, Monsoon knocks the Yasuo away, resets the entire fight, and then Samsung, sorry, SKT was strong.
Struggle for some points in the top side right now, but not going to get a good out of Crown, and they're up in 15 seconds, and we've seen this song and dance before. Samsung Galaxy playing the division game, the Bear Cures.
Those right there, those are actually plays when you're playing this strategy, because the important part of Samsung is not crumbling. SKT, make that attempt at a pick. Here's that vision that you're talking about around the Baron. They're very thorough in cleaning it up.
SKT can't see anything. They don't know the red buff being seen. There's a barrel to watch. Vision suddenly, Peanut to have Crown's team.
And how do you start the fight if you can't see anything? How do you pick the correct target if you don't even know where the members from Samsung are on the map? Yeah, you know, it will be on the top side, but that's not enough. And ulti here used by Ruler.
That's the right choice by Bang, though. Cradle to Peanut in for the next one.
Looking for a potential fight.
The trigger Kuve's here. Knock up, not quite gonna land on Peanut. Gonna trade the flash for an ultimate. Cataclysm is down. The zoning silence now. Is there gonna be a re-engage? Kuve face, but Peanut nowhere to go as Kuve flash to the other side of the barrel. Juba doesn't land the clock for iceberg or whatever it is. Peanut juice to the side.
But that's a chunk out of Peanut. They're starting up the back. Going to try and draw Telecom into the darkness.
Here though, he's waiting for that big knock up. Oh, fake his ulti.
Round number 2, not gonna happen to the sounds. There was just no way in the vision. If you had it or not, it didn't matter. As Baron Nash has been secured by Ambition. 2 straight. Here comes the Blade Caller. We're getting that lower. Neptune gets some health back. But on the wings does not go in.
Able to utilize the health out of Peanut and the vision that they had set up prior to earn a huge objective. Even with a little bit early on the smite there, they 100% secure this objective, stopping them at Extra Rush.
2 games in a row where Samsung understand how to take over the mid lane before going to the They know if Huni is sitting in the side, well then Yasuo loses value for the team fight because he won't be there for the engage. He won't be there for the initial knockup from a because he needs to TP into the fight. That's why I'm so confident just engage on the SK, force them away, take them for a bit, and then go Baron. Set up every single time, and it gives so little counterplay.
Such an impressive series from Samsung so far. And a different story this time around. Peanut have to run over for his life.
Maybe a bit aggressive, or excessive, I should say, on the ultimate right there. Was afraid of getting chased on, but otherwise, Jukes to not ever be rooted by the Blade Fires. Feathers and under siege. Samsung Galaxy seen it before.
Yeah, Baron number 2 is the key to open up the Telecom base. Brick by brick, Samsung Galaxy are trying to dismantle the SK Telecom dynasty, build a foundation for their own.
The way they're doing it is either by outplaying early game like game 1, in team like in game 2. SK have been trying to go for these drafts that want to win in the early game and then slow, but it's backfired twice now in this series. Huni is the team here hoping that they get a good engage, try and one-shot Core JJ.
Nerves of steel, but gets rid of QSS. Ultimate's up for the next disengage tool, but
keep your eyes on the mini-map. Pushing here for Samsung. Minions in the mid, and SK Telecom have to flee.
On into this one, he's gonna silence. What? That was a flash, I'm sorry. Ground block forward though.
But they zone them away from the minion wave that's into the top side here. Meanwhile, this entire time, Kuve's on the bottom side, also with the Baron, and Samsung slowly close.
Now the second inhibitor take with Turret to defend SKT back to lick their wounds. There's the bot lane, the rest of the team sits by the next. Powering behind their structures for a bit of solace in defense, but Samsung Galaxy now 8 turret kills in. There is not much base left for SKT.
And the rest of Samsung. Trying to land a little bit of poke before he goes here. Once again, SKT need a big engage, especially from on this Kragas, but there's no flash available. Lost it before when they also lost the Baron. Let's step forward.
Getting a huge chunk of the perfect ultimate still is preventing the thing and needs.
No QSS just yet. He's still on cool. Veigar can flash him, and then they can try and down, but there's a Janna next to him.
And they don't have much time to work with either, because Samsung have boxes, 2 inhibitors down, and super minions making their way into the. Now there's only one more wave left of health on this bottom turret, and Telecom being pushed to the brink.
Played pretty much perfectly and dodging away from the crowd control using Quicksilver Sash, Flash, or whichever one's exactly needed. Even knowing the range and sidestepping the skill shots when it needs to. This will be the one that the inhibitor turret falls. If it does, SKT wants to likely to retreat with a structure to fight back for them.
QSS is now ready again on the side of Ruler. Peanuts flashes up, another big one with a potential fight. But JJ is so good at this. He's playing so safe. He knows it's a target.
Tactical knockdown, the inhibitor, the flash forward, look at the play, not going to get anything for the blocks off, here comes the cast, and it could be just that for SKT. They're forced to retreat the realm war just to buy some time. Some Sash gets suppression, but it does mean the damage comes through to Brixton build that foundation of greatness. Faker's silent. The flash for the knock, but no go to get the turrets fall. The next in front of their eyes as well. Looking to snuff them out. As the kill comes through, Kupe transforms back. And Samsung Galaxy are one game away from greatness.
They can see the finish line. But so many teams have been up 2 games against SK Telecom. Been unable to finish. Samsung have a lot of room to win though, because this is actually a 2-0.
Exactly. It is rare we see someone go up 2-0 against SKT. First game, they won the early game. Second, won the team fights. Really breaks your confidence. SKT right now might come in third game, completely changing up their plans, and that needs are in full control at the moment.
3 back-to-back victories is what it would take for SK Telecom to continue their dynasty.
Yeah.
What an incredible ask, considering the way that these first 2 games went.
You know, you can't count them out. Despite convincing these Samsung games have looked, we've seen SKT reverse SKT Rolster Super Team in the LCK playoff to get there. We know they can, but Samsung Galaxy again so close to snuffing the game. Now to hear more about the game 2 and the analysts.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Last year, it was SK Telecom T. That was after the first 2 games, 2-0. This time around, Samsung Galaxy up 2-0. But gentlemen, coming out of game 1, going into game 2, did any of you think that that composition SKT would craft, that would give them the victory?
That's what caught me a little bit off guard.
I think so.
Just a bit.
I mean, take a step. Choosing red side again, I think was largely to get pick for Huni, to get the Yasuo. And it worked till it was a lot about adaptation and play. The draft wasn't actually the crucial factor.
Yeah, I think it really was down to the decisions that SKT made. The fight that was around the Dragon Pit 2 times in a row, where it didn't seem like they're necessarily on the same page, where they're really coordinated. And when you do draft for a, you have to be in a side lane. You have to be winning that side lane, and when they fall behind, it's hard to come back.
I think there was a pretty distinct difference, though, at least in the way the early games played. This time around, it was SKT pressure in pretty much all 3 of the lanes.
Yeah, and I feel like at first they did attack Ambition. They ended up getting 3 of the buffs. They got the flash of Q in the top of the way, and the Rise was an early game counter pick to the Malzahar because of how easy he could kill the Voidlings, and it generated a lot of pressure. They had Huni come down mid, get a kill. They had Faker go up top, get another kill. Like, things were working that they had planned with the red side for the game 2 to try and Samsung what Samsung did to them, but then crucially, they couldn't clinch in the team fights.
Execution. Let's take a look at that big team fight. Azael ace a replay, 20 minutes in. Samsung got 5-for-1 near the Drake.
And this was already after one lost fight that they had before. And so much of this comes down to the setup for position. Him coming in with the setup, and then Kuve coming in.
Yeah, I mean, Q-base flank here, the perfect amount of rage on the Gnar. Huni knows what's coming. He tries to stop it. The 3-man Gnar against the wall. It's a double kill. This was huge.
And Samsung just came together better by watching it right here. Huni got in 3 auto attacks by the time 3 of these were dead. So they got comboed way too hard by the Jarvan, Xayah, and Nox combo.
Let's take back a moment, though. They've countered top lane. Huni's job had been to play his own lane. The Yasuo is about being the Gnar on the side lane. One thing we have to question is, why were there multiple team fights? Why were they putting into fights? Because to me, the only way SKT could lose lead with the Yasuo was fighting.
And I absolutely agree. We were saying before the series that Huni was going to play for Huni and the SKT would play around that. Yet even in matchups where they weren't getting teleport by the Gnar, Huni was teleporting in and giving up some of his lane advantage. He did hard split push in this game, and they played disengage with the Gragas over and over again, finding picks with the Rise. That's the game plan I thought SK have. So beyond just not executing in team fights, why are they there in the first place? Not a question you often ask about SKT, but it was evident that game.
And it was something you could ask, honestly, 3 times in that case. You know, with Kuve having teleport down, TP's down to the bot lane for a fight, nothing happened from that. And he was almost 2,000 head after getting the solo first or gold.
I mean, come on your screens right now, talking to the team, a situation they have not found themselves in before stage, being down to a final, as Kobe mentioned. That's a huge ask. Even for a team like SK Telecom, to pull 3 games back to back in order to hold on to your reign and that title and the Series Cup.
And they don't even have side select for Game 3, which could just be against Samsung on blue side. They won't have it in 5 either. They've tried 2 different styles, both of them with the focus denial. That hasn't worked. I don't think we're going to see Varus Gragas on red side again. I think they need to start giving some comfort and finding comfort because they don't have much to hold on to.
And I'd even say, is the Lulu really that much value when you're skipping over like a Syndra into the Malzahar? You know, he's blind picking Malzahar 2 times in a row. Faker has the counter pick and really has not made him pay.
Yeah, and I'm still see Peanut sitting here. I'm wondering if Blank is going to be subbing in, just as we're wondering if Samsung's going to be taking the blue side. You would expect Blank to be subbing in, as done so often during the regular season, but to the point, 2-0 in the World Final. No SKT hasn't been in this spot before, but they've been 2-1, and they are undefeated in elimination games, 9-0.
Flip side of the matchup is Samsung Galaxy. You saw the player cams throughout the game itself. They are feeling it, right? They feel like they're on fire. They said it themselves. We said it. They've been with confidence today if they want to take down SK Telecom T1, and they're playing with it.
It's one thing to say, another thing to do. So many teams at this point have been 2 wins up on SKT. None of them have been 2 wins up on SKT at the World Final. They have a chance to sweep. They just have to be able to play games like they did games 1 and 2.
And Jack, you're leaving the door for SKT. I think that is everyone's natural inclination, but today feels like a different day. It really does feel like Samsung Lion. My original prediction was 3. I'm not going to sit here and say 3-0. It's feeling more like a 3-0 than a 3 Samsung Galaxy, to me at least.
Oh, I mean, you got to respond to that real quick?
I mean, we just have to, last year's World Finals, we're sitting in the opposite position.
Oh,
Samsung pushed us the distance, right? It went to a Game 5, and it was very, very close, so we do still have to give you the credit.
All right, well, that's going to do it here for this segment. It's time for Samsung Galaxy as they grab another win. Just now 1 Smash Nexus away from the Summoners Cup. Stay with us to see if SKT can keep the series alive in game.
Ungodly record that losses when they're in elimination games at Worlds, and we might see it here today.
First change in this pick and ban phase. Janna now removed. It was first picked twice by Samsung. Now Galio was another ban SKT used on the red side. And try and give it to Crown.
Galio definitely very big. I also think the Shen has just been so incredibly big for Samsung, and the way that they wanted to play around earlier, the bottom lane first turret.
Okay, so right now SKT have Galio and Syndra both open, and Lulu as well. So a lot of key picks. They actually leave all 3 up, give Samsung 1, and grab 2.
From a band champion still right now alive draft, so a lot to hand back and forth. He will draft the tier list or draft their own styles. Galio gets removed. To talk about the champions that were highly prized, he'll be the first one.
Jason has just been so good on all of the champions he's gotten so far that it does make sense for SK Telecom for their 2 priority picks.
Cassidy from Samsung is special right here. In case they were first picking the guy, might have respected if Faker could grab Cassidy in there and try and use it to surprise him like Dub did with the Cassidy.
Also, he could possibly be setting up a Taliyah pick for them as well, because Cassidy's so good into Taliyah, they don't want to be able to answer that. We mentioned how big mobility is in the picks that could contribute.
So they did Johnny and Gragas, but Lulu is still available and was not grabbed by SKT. Lulu Varus is an amazing bot lane for Samsung because they get so much early pressure with that play around it. It would be a very solid one, and they don't get Malzahar. And that's it.
The mid lane pick for now. You expect SK and that went away when they can, but the Samsung got lane showing SKT get a last tips on a support pick.
I was about to say,
yep, and it will be the Leona backs against the wall. Wolf learning from Ignar.
If you're giving over to try and play something that can kill the Lulu.
Exactly. As soon as you see the Tristan, this is the go-to game combination that we've seen. Now it's going to be up to see what Galaxy can actually craft around this, because they definitely know what's coming. This is not the surprise. The same that they are.
Ban once again important. You're not Faker on a champion with an easy global you can use to go to different lanes. Shin ban, Kobe, you already mentioned how important it is that Samsung can put that lane. Malzahar is still there for Crown to play. We're looking at a Gnar early pick, and then they can still last pick for Fake.
And that's going to be the ban drop time around and not the Syndra. They left up a couple more options, so Syndra now in a loud lane. Their SKT get first dibs on the 2 remaining soul.
Interesting here. Yeah. Always bring in a Ardent Sensor, the Leona on the bottom side, so very well be a Faker Karma, but Huni also, pre-Worlds, played a lot of solo queue top lane. I just want to throw that one out
Of course, I respect that.
because that also is something that they have utilized.
Still need a blind pick top here. Cho'Gath, Maokai are available. It's going to be the Cho'Gath here. Who need to trundle against it in the top lane. And that is what he's currently looking at, and he locks it in instant. I'm a mid lane. SKT are going fits for this game.
And they're going somewhat full SKT from Game 5 of the semifinal, where they put all their eggs in the Bang basket. They had, of course, a ton of games. More supportive mids that time bringing in Teleport to grab him some of that mobility, and it has got to be a big carry.
Well, they had better go at full SKT right now because they are down 2s in this series, never having lost the best 5 at once.
And the only thing Samsung look at in this draft that are kind of scared of is the Leona in the bottom lane. Everything on Samsung's side is for the best jump ambition, best mid lane pick for Crown, and a super strong bot lane to play around. Like, this is a draft for Samsung and what they like to, but the Leona pick can ruin everything.
Bang need to step up huge. In the last game, Bang with the flash forward on Varus, very disconnected from the team, and that was the big team fight that started the comeback for Samsung Galaxy. Now the pressure on his shoulders once again. It's up to him to show why he's a defending champion. It's all.
So is this the last time these coaches shake hands? 2-0 lead for Samsung Galaxy. The ends the tournament. Faker's tournament life now. His championship title run rests on Karma mid. Who's the bundle and Bang on the Tristana.
Had problems with Faker on Galio. They're definitely not going to like the elimination match of putting Faker on. You can see how much faith they have in that team play and how important that answer is in the meta currently.
And it's so crazy that the best performing player during the tournament, the best player in the world, is being put on a supportive champion for the game here. SKT relied so much on Faker being so strong in so many games, and now it's not about Faker specifically, it's about Huni and Trundle and Bang and Wolf in the bottom lane.
Samsung in the way to win as a team. Faker's bought in, now it's up to the team.
And it's a style we've seen Faker play throughout the years. He's one of the famous Lulu mids. Certainly not his style out of SKT. They have, throughout their years, decade of dominance at this point, have shown us so many different things. Galaxy have been tried and true with one SKT, hoping to find the one that counteracts it.
Will this return even find success? Because this year is so different from the history that we've seen from SK Telecom, and they haven't found success in that style.
And yet we're told every year this is the one that's different. SKT don't look the same as last. They'd always pulled it through in the end, which is why no one yet believes Samsung